Making headlines this hour, Ministry of Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development announces guardians of individuals with disabilities registered with the National Social Protection Agency may now apply for government housing without providing additional documentation. The foundation work for the much-anticipated new hospital building in Muli has officially begun, marking a significant milestone in healthcare development for Mimu Atoll residents. Maldives Food and Drug Authority introduces new food packaging and labeling regulations, granting businesses in the food industry 6 months to ensure full compliance with the new requirements.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to PSN News in English with me, Idham Naeem. President Dr. Mohammad Moiz says voluntary blood donation is a profoundly important practice necessary to ensure the security of public health in a social media message commemorating World Blood Donor Day on 14th June.
As the global community marks the annual observance designed to increase international awareness and encourage regular donation, the vital participation of voluntary donors must be formally recognized, President Muizu said, noting that countless lives are saved because of their commitment. Through these actions, patients depending on continuous transfusions or sudden emergency care receive immediate treatment. The president observed, despite modern medical advancements, human blood remains an irreplaceable resource. Voluntarily donating blood is therefore essential to guaranteeing public health security, helping communities prepare for emergencies, and enabling comprehensive medical care. For a geographically dispersed island nation like the Maldives, securing blood urgently is of paramount importance. President Muizu affirmed that the administration will work diligently to raise public awareness, encourage voluntary donation, and strengthen a culture of solidarity to safeguard community health.
First Lady Sajda Mohammed states, even a modest act such as donating blood can enact a profoundly positive change upon an individual's life in a social media post published in observance of World Blood Donors Day. As the international community commemorates the occasion, observed annually on 14th June to enhance awareness regarding the critical importance of blood donation, First Lady Sajda noted that the kindness of donors must be thoroughly recognized. This selfless action provides essential hope to patients requiring transfusions and to their families during difficult times, she added. Behind every blood donation lies a narrative of compassion, First Lady Sajda remarked, observing that for critically ill patients, contributions serve as a fundamental difference between fear and hope. The global observance reminds us that saving lives does not require monumental efforts. The First Lady noted that, underscoring that a minor gesture can yield a significant transformation for another person. She urged collaborative efforts must be taken to encourage regular voluntary donations and elevate public awareness. Ministry of Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development announces guardians of individuals with disabilities registered with the National Social Protection Agency may now apply for government housing without providing additional documentation.
The ministry confirmed applicants registered with the agency no longer need to submit a copy of their agency-issued card, as forms will be processed without their verification document. The deadline for these specialized applications under the Family Housing or Aili Bohia Vahikam program, which opened on 1st April, is Monday 15 June at 11:59 p.m. Under last February's amended guidelines, applicants are eligible only if they have continuously resided in the Malé region for 5 years. However, this category now includes individuals receiving medical treatment in Malé over the past year if they lack the financial means to reside there and treatment is unavailable in their home island or atoll. These adjustments arrive as the construction of approximately 4,500 housing units developed with China and India proceeds. While contracted companies are building 4,000 units, Other projects are advancing in the atolls through corporate contracting and soft loan assistance for privately owned land. Under the administration's broader Housing for All or Bohiyavahikan Emmena initiative, applicants for both land plots and residential flats will also expire on the 15th of June.
The foundation work for the much-anticipated new hospital building in Muli officially begins, marking a significant milestone in healthcare development for Mimu Atoll's residents.
The new 50-bed hospital is being constructed by Modi's transport and contracting company MTCC, which confirmed that foundation work on the building has now commenced. The Muli Hospital project was inaugurated on the 20th of May last year during President Dr. Mohammad Muiz's visit to the island, setting the stage for this expanded development. The 4-story hospital building will provide comprehensive additional services at the Muli Regional Hospital, which currently serves as the main healthcare facility for the atoll's population of around 7,400 people. In addition to the main hospital building, the project includes construction of an office building for administrative purposes. The new facility will offer an array of medical services, including consultation rooms, an operating theater, emergency room, neonatal intensive care unit and ICU, pediatric ward, dental services, physiotherapy, and radiology. The building will also feature private rooms, a meeting room, and a children's play area. Spanning over 32,000 square feet, the project has been awarded to MTCC for around $11.1 million. The Muli Regional Hospital, which the people of Mimu Atoll have relied on for health services for over 30 years, has seen limited development in recent decades despite its importance to the community. The new hospital building is expected to bring about a major transformation in healthcare services for residents of the entire atoll.
The Maldives Food and Drug Authority MFDA introduces new food packaging and labeling regulations, granting businesses in the food industry 6 months to ensure full compliance with the new requirements.
The regulation came into effect upon its publication in the Government Gazette and replaces the previous national standard governing the labeling of packaging food products. Under the new rules, all food products must be packaged using food-grade materials specifically intended for food use. The regulation also prohibits the sealing of food products in plastic bottles, including PET bottles, or that are designed for single-use disposal and are not certified as food-grade containers. The MFDA has been granted the authority to withhold, suspend, or revoke the license or registration of importers, exporters, and labeling businesses whose negligence poses a risk to public health. The regulation further makes it an offense to import, manufacture, label, or seal any food product that is incorrectly labeled at its point of origin, whether directly or through a third party. For the importation or manufacture of mislabeled food products, a first offense carries a fine of $649 and the withholding of a license for 7 days. A second offense carries a fine of $6,485 and suspension of the license for 15 days, while a third offense carries a fine of $48,638 and the cancellation of the license. Where mislabeling causes harm or endangers human life, offenders may face a fine of up to $64,851. The regulation also imposes penalties for general labeling violations. A first offense carries a fine of $649, a second offense $6,485, a third offense $32,425, a fourth offense $48,638, and a fifth offense $64,851. A license will be revoked upon a fifth offense. Businesses have 6 months to ensure that all packaging material meet the new food grade requirements, replace non-compliant PET bottles, and update product labels in accordance with the MFDA standards. The authority stated that failure to comply with the specified period will result in fines and could lead to the suspension or cancellation of operating licenses. The previous national standard for packaged food labeling has now been repealed. The MFDA has warned that continued non-compliance will be subject to the full penalties outlined in the new regulation.
The Maldives Customs Service MCS releases its Time Release Study 2025, revealing that it now takes an average of 10 days to complete clearance process for goods being shipped abroad.
The comprehensive study examines the entire export timeline, measuring from the submission of custom declarations to the departure of ships from Maldivian ports. According to the report, the average time for shipping goods by sea stands at 10 days, 10 hours, and 14 minutes. The breakdown reveals that the assessment phase from declaration submission to completion takes around 15 hours and 6 minutes, followed by an additional 17 hours and 31 minutes for payment processing. Offshore requests require 1 day, 16 hours, and 55 minutes, while offshore approvals add another 1 day, 9 hours and 47 minutes. Inspections mandated by various government agencies average 1 day, 9 hours and 35 minutes, while booking form approval takes roughly 1 day, 13 hours and 57 minutes. Perhaps most significantly, the study identifies the loading and departure stage as the longest in the entire chain, consuming 2 days, 12 hours and 3 minutes. MCS noted that the findings will be instrumental in identifying opportunities to reduce shipping times through administrative reforms and enhance digital systems.
The Maldives Inland Revenue Authority reports in its latest statistics that revenue collected from the airport development fee and the departure tax during the first 5 months of the year rose by 21.1% compared to the previous year.
The two distinct levies imposed on passengers departing from airports within the Maldives for international destinations generated a combined $116.73 million during the 5-month period, up from the $97.28 million collected during the corresponding timeframe last year, according to the authorities' report. The data indicates that the departure tax alone accounted for $60.18 million, representing a 20.6% growth from the $49.87 million recorded a year prior. The airport development fee yielded $61.09 million during the first 5 months of 2026, marking a 21.6% jump from the $50.19 million collected in the identical period of 2025. Formally initiated on 1st January 2022, the departure tax is levied on outbound travelers, though several exemptions are maintained. Those legally excused from paying the tax include individuals possessing diplomatic immunity, transit passengers, and children under 2 years of age. The airport development fee, introduced on 1st May 2017, is charged to every passenger flying internationally out of Velana International Airport. Exemptions for the development fee apply solely to individuals granted diplomatic immunity and those classified strictly as direct transit passengers.
The Bank of Maldives, BML, launches a new promotion that gives customers the chance to win $1,000 every week by using the bank's US dollar debit card for everyday transactions. The promotion will run until 30th July, providing customers with nearly 2 months to qualify for the weekly cash prize. To be eligible, customers must apply for a new USD debit card through BML. The card can be used for purchases, bill payments, and digital transactions. According to the bank, cardholders must spend a minimum of $100 on qualifying transactions each week to be entered into the weekly draw. Eligible transactions include payments for subscriptions, tickets, and other digital services. BML said the promotion is designed to encourage greater use of digital payment methods while rewarding customers who use their US dollar debit cards for routine expenses. Customers interested in participating can apply for a USD debit card at any BML branch or through the bank's online banking platform. The bank noted that all qualifying transactions must be completed by 30th July to be considered for the weekly $1,000 prize draw. Politico reports that the U.S. Justice Department's Antitrust Division clears Paramount Skydance Corp's planned $110 billion acquisition of Warner Bros. Discovery.
Department of Justice officials determined the transaction did not pose a threat to competition, according to the sources. Politico reported, citing one source, that the department approved the merger without requiring any divestitures, behavioral remedies, or concessions. Spokespeople for Paramount and the DOJ spokesperson declined to comment. The clearance gives Paramount another regulatory green light to point to as it seeks to ward off a potential challenge to the deal by California and other states. In April, Paramount also asked the Federal Communications Commission (FCC) to approve foreign investment backing the acquisition. U.S. senators have raised concerns about the Middle Eastern sovereign wealth funds and Chinese company taking part. The FCC has yet to make a determination. Analysts had expected the DOJ not to challenge the deal because of Paramount's political connections. Paramount CEO David Ellison's father, billionaire Oracle co-founder Larry Ellison, has cultivated ties with President Donald Trump, and the company has hired former Trump officials. Assistant Attorney General Omid Asafi has said that politics would absolutely not drive the DOJ's review of the transaction. Paramount has argued the deal has no antitrust problems and said the combined company would increase competitive pressure on Disney and Netflix. However, several in Hollywood, including actors, directors, writers, and producers, have expressed concern that the merger would result in fewer jobs and less diversity of storytelling. California, New York, and other U.S. states are preparing a lawsuit to block the deal, sources familiar with the matter told Reuters last week.
The UK's Ministry of Defence says British armed forces intercepted a Russian Shadow Fleet oil tanker as it tried to pass through the English Channel in what officials described as the first UK-led operation of its kind.
The ministry said that the Royal Marine Commandos boarded the vessel, Smiltos, and specifically trained officers from the National Crime Agency during a 6-hour operation supported by HMS Sutherland and HMS Ledbury. The ministry added that the operation was conducted in close coordination with France. The tanker will be moved to an anchorage in the south coast of England and monitored for environmental and safety concerns. Ship tracking website Marine Traffic showed that Smithros moved through the English Channel over 24 hours to the morning of June 14th. In a post on social media, Defense Secretary Dan Jarvis said the operation required skill, professionalism, and courage and paid tribute to the armed forces personnel involved. He said Russia relied on its Shadow Fleet to fund its conflict in Ukraine and that the interdiction delivered another blow to what he called Vladimir Putin's illegal war.
Moroccan fans celebrates their national team's 1-1 World Cup opening draw with Brazil in Casablanca fan zone late on Saturday night.
Brazil winger Vinicius Junior's curled strike in the 32nd minute cancelled out Ismail Saibari's opener at East Rutherford, New Jersey, leaving both teams with 1 point from their first match of the tournament. The Africa Cup of Nations holders finished fourth in the 2022 World Cup edition, and a draw against 5-time winners Brazil represents a first step to progression from Group C, with games against Scotland and Haiti to follow. Morocco will face Scotland on the Friday, June 19th at the Boston Stadium in Foxborough.
The New York Knicks defeats the San Antonio Spurs 94-90 to claim their first NBA championship since 1973.
Jalen Brunson scored a game-high 45 points as the Knicks closed out the best-of-7 NBA Finals in 5 games just days after completing the greatest comeback scene in the championship round. Brunson was named Finals MVP after his relentless performance helped New York come from behind to clinch the title on the road in front of strong contingent of traveling Knicks fans. The Spurs started strong once again and held several double-digit leads all night, but the Knicks crawled back and finally took their first lead with 3 minutes and 40 seconds left to play. The Spurs were unable to come back and the Knicks capped off a dominant championship run that saw them lose just 3 games in the postseason.
Poland's newest train service, the Nyszpychny, is proving a hit despite having no Wi-Fi, no air conditioner and taking hours longer to reach its destination.
The Nyszpychny or unhurried train is a bet by Polish State Railways PKP that some passengers will pay good money for a slower, more relaxed journey. The train, decked out in the 80s retro style, takes its time on scenic routes through the countryside, giving passengers time to enjoy the train's other main attraction, classic Polish food. In the Woz dining car, hungry passengers dig into traditional Polish fare, kielbasa with onions, bigos sauerkraut stew, and a sour rye soup called zurek are some of the most popular dishes.
Yeah, food was great. I think overall in Polish trains, food is great. And I've ordered sausage with onion and mustard because I think for now there is not many to choose from because they are running out of the food.
The train is full of nostalgic enthusiasts, relaxed day trippers, and parents showing their children how riding the rails used to look in their youth. The Unhurried is not a typical tourist train. It connects major cities and takes passengers from A to B, just at a more leisurely pace. It's an alternative to Poland's growing fleet of high-speed train called Pendolinos. PKP says the train is for those who want to slow down, travel more consciously, and discover Poland at a rhythm that allows you to really see it. Since launching in April, the train has been connecting major cities and travel hotspots from the Carpathian Mountains to the Baltic coast, and tickets have regularly sold out. Whether they are reminiscing about the old days, heading out for a day trip, or enjoying the food, for passengers of Nyszpychny, slow and steady wins the race.
That concludes news for now. Thank you for watching PSM News. Have a good day.